A frequently asked question regarding the Matrix is how Neo had powers in the real world. We previously discussed the possibility that the real world could be another simulation, which could explain how Neo was able to destroy the Sentinels in the real world. But what if the real world is not a simulation? How can we explain Neo's powers? Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Before we begin today's video, we would like to announce our first official giveaway for our subscribers. We will be raffling a copy of the Matrix Comics 20th Anniversary Edition, an anthology of all published Matrix comic book stories, some written by the Matrix creators themselves, the Wachowskis. All you have to do to win is be a subscriber to this channel, leave a like on this video, and leave a comment on who is your favorite Matrix character and why. The winner will be announced on August 29th, 2020. Thank you for the support, and enjoy today's video. To understand how Neo has powers in the real world, let's go back to the conversation between him and the architect in Matrix Reloaded. There were 5 anomalies before Neo, 5 times that the city of Zion was destroyed. This is a perpetual cycle where the so-called One must make a choice. Sacrifice the few and return to the source to restart the Matrix, i.e. let the people of Zion die to save all humans connected to the Matrix, or save the one that he loves and doom the entire race to extinction. The whole story about the One is nothing more than a legend, a myth, created by the Oracle to keep humanity in check, a fairly effective method. Neo refuses to return to the source. He chooses to save Trinity, an illogical choice that breaks the cycle of the One, at least temporarily. Yet this inevitability occurred in Matrix Revolutions. Trinity dies and Neo joins the source to defeat Smith. In the end, Neo did as the architect predicted, though of course under different circumstances. But what does any of this have to do with Neo having powers in the real world? The Matrix is a simulation of the real world. Think of it as a computer operating system, like Windows. The agents are the programs that maintain the system's health, like an antivirus. There are many other programs running in the background, like one maintaining the flora and fauna, or one that draws the sky, like Sati. However, the architect would be above all these programs. He is the administrator. He has all the privileges to modify, create, and reboot the Matrix. And here lies the secret to Neo's abilities. Restarting an operating system of a computer activates programs under administrative privileges to make changes to the OS. Neo is an anomaly capable of changing the Matrix. He is a super hacker, but did not have these administrator privileges. His powers were limited to the Matrix. But the moment he spoke with the architect, everything changed. The architect possibly gave Neo the privileges to modify the source. It's no coincidence that after Neo met the architect, he developed powers in the real world. The architect most likely gave Neo administrator privileges to restart the Matrix. Now you may be thinking that this does not explain how Neo has powers outside of the Matrix. His abilities should only be possible inside the simulation. Well, as Morpheus once said, humans are no longer born, but grown. That includes Neo. Humans are used to generate energy for the machines, and because of this, they are no longer completely organic. Neo has many sockets around his body. Just like every other human who was created by the machines, they all have technology embedded in their bodies. The thing is, we assumed that these pieces of tech inside their bodies stopped working once they were disconnected from the Matrix. The architect said that Zion has been destroyed 5 times before. This supposed freedom in the real world is but a part of the same system of control. There is the slim possibility that the humans in Zion are being monitored. If so, the tech inside Neo's body never completely disconnected from the Matrix. As far-fetched as this may sound, Neo may have something similar to a Wi-Fi antenna inside his body. Maybe every human who was disconnected from the Matrix has it, but deactivated. The architect may have activated this tech when he gave Neo the administrator privileges. This can explain how Neo was able to feel the Sentinels. He can detect their signal. Illogical explanation? How can Neo have an antenna in his body? What evidence exists that can point to that? Suppose this explanation is correct. Neo could hack the technology around him, but only the tech that is connected to the source, like the Sentinels. The problem was that Neo did not understand this ability. After stopping the Sentinels, he fell into a coma. He accessed the Sentinels' code and fried them, but as a result, he ended up in an unknown location, Mobile Ave. Neo was able to access this location because he hacked into the Matrix signal. He has administrative privileges, but they don't work in the train station. This is why he is trapped. He couldn't modify this area. It wasn't a creation of the architect, proving that Neo can only modify what is connected to the source. It's only thanks to Trinity's aggressive convincing of the Merovingian that Neo was able to be saved, using the only means to leave Mobile Ave, the train. Remember that Neo entered the Matrix without using his head jack. It should be impossible for anyone to enter without being directly connected, but Neo did, wirelessly. Anyways, Neo and Trinity travel to the Machine City to try and stop Agent Smith, but on the way, Bane, who is possessed by Agent Smith, tries to stop them. Bane burns Neo's eyes. He is now completely blind, yet somehow he can see Smith's code inside Bane. Neo lost his eyes, but can see his surroundings in code. He is now using this wireless signal to see everything around him. This is not something supernatural. It is purely technological. Neo destroyed the Sentinels that were in his way and finally arrived at the machine's source, but at the cost of Trinity's life. In the end, Neo accomplished his purpose of reaching the source and resetting the Matrix. The Sentinels that were attacking Zion returned to the Machine City, further proving that all machines are connected to the source, the same signal that Neo used to stop them. Looking back, we could assume that it was the architect who activated Neo's new powers. It's not supernatural. It's most likely a piece of tech that all disconnected humans have, but are deactivated. Maybe the people of Zion are being watched and don't know it, just like when they didn't know when they lived inside the Matrix. The Oracle explains to Neo that his powers extends beyond the Matrix. It reaches all the way to the source. This connection may only be possible due to the technology in Neo's body, since he isn't entirely human. He is a hybrid, an amalgamation of man and machine. The architect isn't the first one who modified Neo's code. Carefully analyzing the Merovingian's words about cause and effect, they show how easy a person's code can be modified with something as simple as food. This conversation with the Frenchman may have revealed a hidden mode of operation of the Oracle. Remember that she gave Neo a cookie after they met for the first time. Odd, isn't it? After Neo ate the cookie, he started to believe in his abilities, to modify the Matrix, and even come back from the dead. So, the Oracle, as well as the Architect, probably modified the Integral Anomalies code, granting him new privileges and activating his new abilities. Remember, food does not exist in the Matrix, just like the spoon. But do you agree? Can any of this explain why Neo has powers in the real world? Did the Architect give Neo administrator privileges to enter the source through some kind of wireless tech inside his body? Could any human from the Matrix have this same tech? Or do you believe it to be supernatural? For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.